Where do you want to start with the Kobe Bryant news?
Dan, one day last week, I insanely got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and rode to work with Andy Reid. So that was the lead to my column. Wrote it on Friday, filed it, was all set, and was just cleaning up some of the loose ends in my column on my way down here yesterday. And so you get the news of Kobe, and I had just this one thought that, you know, the first day the San Diego Chargers became the Los Angeles Chargers, 2017, the PR guy, Josh Ruprecht, who used to work for the Lakers and who knew Kobe very well, asked him to come in and talk to his team about what's it going to be like to play in L.A. What is that whole thing going to be like? And so Kobe comes in, he tells him a little bit about L.A., and then he asks for questions. And someone, I mean, I can't figure out if the New York Times book review planted this question, but said, Kobe, what's your favorite book? And he said, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And so, okay, explanation, please. And he just said, you know, this is about a nonconformist who was tired of fighting other seagulls for the scraps on the beach and who wanted something more out of life. He wanted to be truly great at everything. And so his whole thing was, hey, you're in the NFL, guys. Great, good job. But what else is there? Do you want to just settle for being one of 1,600 guys who play professional football? Or do you want to truly be great? Do you want to really, be the best at flying, which is what Jonathan Livingston Seagull wanted to be? And then do you want to get great at other things? And not only is it an NFL story, because I'm sure a lot of guys in that audience, the Chargers, are devastated today, just like everybody across America is, but Jonathan Livingston Seagull is the Kobe Bryant story. He was great at one thing. He was great at flying. He was great at playing basketball. And now with his detail series, with coaching his daughter, with doing all these other things in life, he wanted to be great at something else. That, to me, is the real tragedy of this, not to mention the other people who died, including, you know, his absolute sweetheart of a daughter. So I don't know, Dan. I never met the guy. I don't know him at all. I'm not an NBA guy, but I just am incredibly sad about it, just like everybody else is.
Yeah, the word that I used, and the word that always came to mind with Kobe was curiosity. He was curious. And there are certain athletes who are like this. They're curious beyond their sport. I mean, Kobe didn't want to be defined by, oh, you're a great basketball player. He wanted to be defined by more than that. You win an Oscar? And I remember he came on and he said, what am I doing up there winning an Oscar? But in my mind, you know why you're up there winning an Oscar, because you planned on doing that. I don't think he would ever go into this going, yeah, well, I don't know, maybe I could win an Oscar. I think he was so goal-oriented. Plus, to take on that, you know, Tom Brady never said, I don't think publicly, hey, I want to be as good as Montana, if not better. Like, what other sports do you have a guy say? And, you know, Mike's leaving, and Kobe says, if you're giving me the baton, great. If you're not, I'm taking the baton.
Yeah.
He wanted to be greater than Michael Jordan and wasn't afraid of that. I don't know what other sport where, like Tiger, I think, probably said, hey, you think Jack's great, I'll be better than him. And I think his father kind of reinforced that. But I don't know how many sports where you'd have somebody who is iconic. Did Peyton Manning say, hey, I want to be better than Joe Montana?
I think Peyton's the kind of guy who I think said it quietly. And I bet Tom Brady said it quietly, too, because Tom Brady was absolutely determined. He was not going to let the 199th pick stand in the way of him finding some way at some point to be great. I think it's so interesting when you compare the real great people. I remember Brady telling me one time that if one of the best things that happened to him was being a sixth-round pick, because nothing was expected of him. And then as time went on, it was, early in his second year, after he'd had 2 training camps, a full off-season program, after, his selfless ethos, Belichick knew what that was. Why did Bill Belichick not go back to Drew Bledsoe in 2001 when Bledsoe was healthy? Because quite honestly, he liked Tom Brady better at that moment than he liked Drew Bledsoe. And you can say, well, how is that possible? Bledsoe's the highest paid quarterback in football. And you say, well, it's because Brady comes to work every day and he does one thing. Not that Bledsoe didn't do this, But Brady comes to work every day and he does one thing. How can I make the team better? And so that, to me, is what makes a lot of these guys so great, because I think Kobe Bryant was exactly the same. LeBron is the same now. And so I think it's that he wanted to be absolutely great at what he did. And even though basketball was over, he was going to find another world to conquer.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.